If all dogs are mammals and all mammals are animals, what can we logically conclude? Option A. All animals are dogs. Option B. Some animals are dogs. Option C. All dogs are animals. Option D. No conclusion can be drawn. The answer is option C. All dogs are animals. If all squares are rectangles and all rectangles have 4 sides, what can we conclude about squares? Option A. Squares have 4 sides. Option B. Squares are not rectangles. Option C. All rectangles are squares. Option D. Squares have 5 sides. The answer is option A. Squares have 4 sides. If some birds can fly and penguins are birds, what can we conclude about penguins? Option A. Penguins can fly. Option B. Penguins cannot fly. Option C. All birds can fly. Option D. Penguins are not birds. The answer is option B. Penguins cannot fly. If all roses are flowers and some flowers are red, what can we conclude about roses? Option A. Roses are red. Option B. Roses are not flowers. Option C. Roses are always red. Option D. Roses are not red. The answer is option D. Roses are not red. If all politicians are humans and some humans are honest, what can we conclude about politicians? Option A. All politicians are honest. Option B. Some politicians are honest. Option C. No politicians are honest. Option D. All politicians are not humans. The answer is option B. Some politicians are honest. If all apples are fruits and some fruits are oranges, what can we conclude about apples? Option A. Apples are oranges. Option B. Apples are not fruits. Option C. Apples are always oranges. Option D. Apples are fruits. The answer is option D. Apples are fruits. If all mammals are warm-blooded and some warm-blooded animals are whales, what can we conclude about whales? Option A. Whales are mammals. Option B. Whales are not warm-blooded. Option C. Whales are fish. Option D. Whales are not animals. The answer is option A. Whales are mammals. If some students like math and all math lovers are smart, what can we conclude about students? Option A. All students are smart. Option B. Some students are smart. Option C. No students like math. Option D. All students like math. The answer is option B. Some students are smart. If all triangles have 3 sides and some polygons are triangles, what can we conclude about polygons? Option A. Polygons have 3 sides. Option B. Polygons can be triangles. Option C. All polygons are triangles. Option D. Polygons have 4 sides. The answer is option B. Polygons can be triangles. If some birds can sing and all singing birds are parrots, what can we conclude about parrots? Option A. Parrots cannot sing. Option B. All parrots can sing. Option C. Some birds can sing. Option D. Parrots are not birds. The answer is option B. All parrots can sing. If all squares are quadrilaterals and some quadrilaterals are rectangles, what can we conclude about rectangles? Option A. All rectangles are squares. Option B. Rectangles have 3 sides. Option C. Rectangles cannot be squares. Option D. Some rectangles are squares. The answer is option D. Some rectangles are squares. If all doctors are educated and some educated people are lawyers, what can we conclude about lawyers? Option A. All lawyers are doctors. Option B. Lawyers are not educated. Option C. Some lawyers are educated. Option D. Lawyers are not people. The answer is option C. Some lawyers are educated. If some mammals can swim and all swimming mammals are dolphins, what can we conclude about dolphins? Option A. Dolphins cannot swim. Option B. Some mammals cannot swim. Option C. All dolphins are mammals. Option D. Dolphins are fish. The answer is option C. All dolphins are mammals. If all carnivores eat meat and some meat eaters are lions, what can we conclude about lions? Option A. Lions do not eat meat. Option B. All lions eat meat. Option C. Some carnivores are lions. Option D. Lions are herbivores. The answer is option B. All lions eat meat. If all students study and some studying individuals are scholars, what can we conclude about scholars? Option A. Scholars do not study. Option B. Some students are scholars. Option C. All scholars are students. Option D. Scholars are not individuals. The answer is option B. Some students are scholars. If all triangles have 3 angles and some 3-angled shapes are triangles, what can we conclude about 3-angled shapes? Option A. 3-angled shapes cannot be triangles. Option B. All 3-angled shapes are triangles. Option C. Some triangles have more than 3 angles. Option D. 3-angled shapes have 4 sides. The answer is option B. All 3-angled shapes are triangles. If some birds can talk and all talking birds are parrots, what can we conclude about parrots? Option A. Parrots cannot talk. Option B. Some parrots are birds. Option C. All parrots can talk. Option D. Parrots are not birds. The answer is option C. All parrots can talk. If all humans breathe and some breathing individuals are athletes, what can we conclude about athletes? Option A. Athletes do not breathe. Option B. Some humans are athletes. Option C. All athletes are not humans. Option D. Athletes are not individuals. The answer is option B. Some humans are athletes. If all triangles have 3 sides and some 3-sided shapes are squares, what can we conclude about squares? Option A. Squares cannot be 3-sided. Option B. All squares are triangles. Option C. Squares have 4 sides. Option D. Some triangles are squares. The answer is option C. Squares have 4 sides. If all roses are flowers and some flowers are fragrant, what can we conclude about roses? Option A. Roses are always fragrant. Option B. Roses are not flowers. Option C. Some fragrant things are roses. Option D. Roses are not fragrant. The answer is option C. Some fragrant things are roses.